Sometimes you just gotta say no. What's going on? It's your boy Mo Brooks. Listen, this is your first time on the channel, welcome. Man, thank you so much for subscribing, hitting that like button and the notification bell. If you are returning, thank you for rocking with your boy and subscribing. I truly appreciate you, and I would love to hear from all of you in the comment section. Sometimes you gotta say no. All right, listen, there's no way around this, Lil Cole. There's no way around it. You gotta say no. And this is what I mean, okay? There's a lot of great opportunities. There's a lot of people fighting for your attention, right? There's a lot of things going on in the world. And at some point, we have to learn the art of saying no, and that no is a complete sentence, and that you do not have to explain yourself after the no. I'm sorry, you guys. You just got to say no. I just feel it. I wasn't supposed to shoot this video, but I just feel that someone needs to hear this, that you're out people pleasing. It's okay. I'm a people pleaser. I like people to be happy with me. All right. This is very hard for me because the comment section, I ain't gonna hold you up. All right. I'm learning how not to care, which is great. But I want to make everybody happy. I want to please people. I want to give people a great experience with me. Therefore, historically, it's been hard for me to say no because I wanted or even needed your affirmation, your validation. That was fuel for me. And that was also dangerous. Because I did not have the ability to say no, I overcommitted myself. Therefore, I start being burnt out and tired and worn down, all because I couldn't say a two-letter word, no. So now, it's a new Mo. I can say no. And it's okay to say no for your mental health, for your spiritual health, for your emotional health, for your family health. It's okay to say no. Because every time you say yes, you're saying no to something else. And every time you say no, you're freeing up space and time to say yes to something else. So we have to be mindful of what we say yes and no to. It doesn't matter what it is. We have to be mindful. Someone asked me the other day to make a huge commitment, right? And I was gracious for the invitation, but I had to say no. And I don't have to explain myself why. It's just no. And it is what it is. And we still can be friends and we can be cool, but no. So what are your boundaries around no? What are you missing out because you can't say no? And think about this. Me having to get validation and affirmation from other people was probably the most miserable experience ever. It was like a drug. And anybody who knows anything about drugs, who've done drugs, like myself before, all right, what happens is you do that drug and you love the feeling of the drug. And once the feeling disappears, you want the drug more. All right. You want it more and more. You want to get that feeling again. But guess what? When you do the drug, I don't know about certain drugs. Now, I'm talking about weed. Okay. I ain't do too many drugs out there. Okay. Weed and maybe sugar, donuts. That's a big drug too. Okay. But when you do the drug again, that drug can't never quite get you that high it got you at first. You get close. But your body becomes used to it and you're always chasing that high or that feeling. And that's the same thing with people pleasing, is that when we're looking for that validation and affirmation from other people, we're chasing the high or the dopamine release from that validation or affirmation. That's why social media is so genius, because every time you get a like or every time you get a comment, what happens is dopamine is released from your brain when you read it. That's why when you post on social media, you're always going back to your phone looking, right, for likes and comments, not for the sake of like engagement. It could be for engagement, but for the most part, we love the dopamine hit it releases in our brain, the happy chemical, the joyous chemical that's released in our brain from the comments and the likes. And that can happen in real life when we're looking for affirmation from certain people. We're not actually looking for the affirmation or validation. We're looking for the feeling, the joyous, happy feelings that comes from that person's affirmation and validation. And what happens is when we get the affirmation or validation, now we are setting ourselves up to be misused and abused, because any manipulative person knows that certain people who have that people pleasing tendencies can now take advantage of you because they know you are looking for the affirmation and validation. So what do? They take away the affirmation and validation for a season to make you hunger and thirst for it, to make you have that withdrawal for it. So you could come crawling back, begging and seeking and pleading for the affirmation and validation, and they give you a little bit and you feel like you're on top of the world, and you go back to find it again from that same person or group of people, and they snatch it away from you, making you start the process all over again. And now you're being gaslit and misled, and you can't say no, because saying no will lead to no affirmation or validation. My bad. I went to a place. I just blacked out. I went to a place. My bad. I went to a place. But somebody need to hear it, and that your only affirmation or validation, it needs to come from God and God alone. And you got to believe in yourself, my last video, and you have to know within yourself who you are, and that you don't need the affirmation or validation from other people. Goodness gracious. You got to get that. I had to get that. I'm still getting that. I'm still battling that. I don't need it. I got it from God. And if I do need it from somebody else, I got a wife. Baby, I need some affirmation or validation. You know what I'm saying? I don't need it. And you got to have that sense of self and that sense of, I'm beautiful the way I am, and I like myself and I love myself. You got to have that self-love. It's important, because if you don't love yourself and all your flaws and all your failures and all your mistakes, guess what? It's going to be hard to love other people and all their flaws and all their failures and all their mistakes and mess ups. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about saying no. No to your validation. No to your affirmation. I appreciate it. Guess what? It was nice, but I can't get it from you anymore, because I get hooked on it like a drug. And then when you snatch it away, you're using me like a puppet, and I'm just done with it. I can't take it. I got to say no. And now I have the space. Now let's check this out. When you get the freedom, okay, from needing the good approval of others, needing their affirmation, needing their validation, it frees you up to say no. Because in the past, you said yes, even though you wanted to say no, but you were in the bondage of getting that people, person, group of people, affirmation and validation. Man, I'm trying to help somebody. I'm trying to help someone. I don't know what group you in. I don't know who's doing that to you, right? But once you get free from that and you don't need it because you got it from God and you got it. That's why I love Jesus. All right. I love Jesus. Okay. Because Jesus got his affirmation and validation from the Father. God said, "This is my son whom I'm well pleased." Before he did a miracle, before he did anything, God validated the person and personality of Jesus Christ before he did anything. after baptism. Look at Matthew chapter 3. All right. He gave him he got the validation. He got the affirmation, and that's it. So what happened when people were going crazy over Jesus? Jesus was cool. He wasn't tripping. The fame didn't get to his mind. Going viral didn't get to him. Okay. All the people throwing it over in get to him. He didn't manipulate the people. He didn't he didn't gaslight the people. He didn't take advantage of the people. Why? Because he already got his affirmation and validation from God. He believed in himself. He knew who he was. He knew his assignment. Therefore, that fame didn't get to him, nor the criticism. Man, Pharisees and Sadducees, they was all on his head, right? But that didn't get to him because he knew who he was. So he could say no to Satan. He could say no to temptation. He could say no to being king. And all of us want to be king. And all of us want to rule over other people. And all of us want to be judges. Jesus said, nah, I'm good on that. I got an assignment here. We want to sit on the throne. Jesus said, I'm good on that. I got an assignment. So we have to learn how to say no. And a lot of times, I'm about to end this video. A lot of times we are too nice. We're too nice. Sometimes the no gotta be a little gangster. Gotta have a little flair in it. It just gotta be like, no, I'm good. Well, why? I just said no. No explanation. Just no. You know what I'm saying? Because people will always poke holes in your reasons. They be like, oh, your reason is an excuse. All right, so be it. You could call it what you call it. All I'm trying to say is you got to be firm in your yay and your nay, and your yes and your no. And what that's going to do is going to free you. But the power of the no, it's only found when you're free from the validation and affirmations of other people. I guess that's what I'm trying to say in the whole video. Okay, I may have took the long way around, but that's what I'm trying to say. That you can't say no if you still need living on, surviving on the affirmation and validation of other people. So as I close this video, say no. It's okay. But before you say no, make sure you don't need others' affirmation or validation. You don't need it. And if you do need it, you need to, I don't even want to go there. You don't need it. It needs to come from God first. It does. Now, other people can confirm. You can get counsel from other people, right? You can listen to feedback, constructive criticism. You can bounce ideas, you know what I'm saying, to different people. But at the end of the day, your validation, your affirmation, who you are, the belief in yourself, that got to be firm. Or you will always say yes to things you really want to say no to. And then you will turn around and blame the people you said yes to like it's their fault. It's not their fault. They don't got the power. You have the power. You have the responsibility to say no, even when it hurts, even when it doesn't feel good, even when it goes against the grain. You got to make the decision, not them. And the moment you shift the blame on somebody else is the moment you give them the power and control over your life. So stop blaming people for you saying yes and take responsibility and say no. I gotta go, man. I'm out of here. I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it.